respected faculty members of my alma mater, dear students, especially Amit Kaul sir, and all the worthy faculty members, I welcome you all for today's session, which is just on employability skills. I would like to share my experience in the industry for past these number of years, and would like to give my insights. What is an employer looking for when he is taking the interviews from the employer's point of view? I'll be harping upon some basic communication skills, which is the basic requirement of personal interviews and group discussions. And I'll be throwing some light on resume building if the time permits. So can we start with the presentation?
Yes. You are most welcome. Session is all yours, Mr. Saurabh.
I hope my screen is being shared with one and all. Though you are in mute mode, you can always post your questions and other queries. Sir, is my presentation?
Share screen is not visible as of now, so you can share your screen and then we can proceed further.
Sir, I've shared my screen. Is it visible?
It's not visible as of now. You can again share it, then we can see. You can first close it and then
I'll try it again. Might be some network glitch. I'll do it once again, sir.
Okay.
Is it visible now, sir?
Yeah, it is started sharing. Now it's visible. Yes, it's visible.
Now it's visible. Okay, good evening, friends. Without taking much of your time, since we are already at on a very tight schedule note, and Amit sir has warned me time and again to finish the things on time. So I'll be just starting with the core thing, what I'll be sharing with you in today's session. Careers. And the basic topic is employability skills and cracking the code. This is very important, that what employers think when they take an interview. It'll be taking up the part of the discussion will be from the employer's point of view, which I think most of you won't be able to understand since you are just in college. So I would like to share my experience with you, what happens when we interview the students. Significant employability, spending some time on the non-verbal part of communication, which happens to be my field of expertise and which is a very significant part in the communication process. I'll be, I won't say tips, I will be giving you some insights of the interview. We'll be discussing some tricky questions in the interview, group discussion tips, some suggestions I would like to resume design. Now, let us see from the employer's point of view, what they are looking from, what they are expecting. You are just, you have to be market ready when you have to face the interview to scale new heights in your professional sphere. Your ability to learn, you have to be a team worker, your attitude, your aptitude. These are the 4 key areas that the employer is looking for. I would like to share some data through this slide, that what is the present scenario in the market. And the data has been taken from NASSCOM. Just an overview, what is happening in the industry. I hope you all might have heard the story of an eagle whose age is around, the average age is around 70 years. But as we say, the axe always needs to be sharpened. And after 40 years, when the eagle realizes that now the beak has become very blunt and eagle won't be able to do any more hunting and won't be able to fly because the feathers have become very heavy, what does an eagle do? I hope you all must know this story, and if you haven't heard about it, you should read about the Eagle story. I would have loved to share a video with you, but the time doesn't permit. You can always surf on YouTube and go for the Eagle story. And same happens with us also. We are here to sharpen our eggs. We all know so many things, but we have to be war ready. And yes, this is a war. And as the saying goes, once the people who sweat in peace are the one who don't bleed in war. So we have to sweat in peace, and we have to work upon our gray areas as the Eagle does. And today's session and the many subsequent sessions and the previous ones also, which NIT Hamirpur, faculty of NIT Hamirpur replacement cell has facilitated, is to sharpen the eggs and to know the insights, what is happening there. Like, you all might be very good in your technical skills and other abilities, but we have to take an overview of what is happening around. Employers have identified these basic skills which are important for a young recruitee. Like, they are communication skills, teamwork, self-management, learning skills, problem solving, technological know-how, yes, very significant, planning, organizing, and taking initiative. What is an interview? If I ask you, had it been one-to-one meeting, like, we would have been interacted in a very better way, but still I'm just communicating it as a one-way communication. It is a structured meeting. We don't have to take that pressure. Oh, interview. We generally, day in and day out, go through many interviewing processes. And interview is just a structured meeting between a person who is seeking for a job, a candidate who is seeking for the job, and an organization who are looking for a capable person possessing some characteristics and abilities, capabilities. Should I move ahead? Now, to face an interview, we need to gold plate ourselves. We have to be market ready. We need to have that gold plating within us. We have to sell ourselves when we are in an interview or in a meeting. What skills are we looking for when we interview? We are looking forward for people skills, leadership, analytical skills, which are just through, a series of tests. Like, we take aptitude tests and some technical tests also. Your analytical skills are just through that. But the soft part of it, that includes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt, please. If you can restart our PPT, it will be better, because there has been little interruption. So if you can restart the PPT from what are recruiters looking for from this slide on.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure.
There has been some pointer which might have creeped in on the screen. You have to close the PPT and then restart from that slide.
Restart my PPT. Okay, sir. Okay.
There is this pointer which is coming up. I think this pointer is coming from your end, or it is coming from.
No, it is not coming from my end, sir. I was also finding it like.
Yeah. So you have to close this all and then come back, I believe, sir.
Okay, I've stopped my screen sharing. I'll share my screen again.
Yes, because somebody might be from our students' front. He might have logged in from his mobile phone, and when he will be sliding, then these things will be appearing on the screen.
Okay. I'm once again starting it. Please point me out, sir, if there is any discrepancy still left there.
No, it's okay, fine. We move to the that slide where probably slide number 10.
Just a minute, sir. Just a minute. Give me a minute. This slide, sir?
Next slide. This fellow has, okay. Yes, now it's okay. From this slide on.
This one?
Yes.
Fine, sir?
Yes.
Like, interviewing, as I was discussing earlier also, I hope you all are with me, and I want you all to be with me. It is a structured meeting between organization, between you who is like striving for a job and an employer. What is the result of this structured meeting? It is to determine, employer wants to determine whether you are fit for the job. And for your point of view, it is like you have to decide what will be your remuneration, and is the working environment right for you or not. These are some of the skills, some technical skills, some analytical skills. But in addition to this, which will, on what we'll be harping upon today will be the softer part of it, like the communication skills, your creativity part, your problem solving abilities, your people skills, your leadership skills. This is what here we are today to discuss about. And in addition to this, the employer is always looking for the X factor. Do you have that X factor within you? What is that X factor? The drive. Do you have that entrepreneurial spirit? Do you have that right attitude to work? Do you have that presence of mind? Or do you have the ability to read the situation? Do you have that high adversity quotient? Like there was an era when people were, analyzed on the basis of intelligence quotient, IQ. Then came EQ, emotional quotient. Now it is an era of social quotient and adversity quotient. How do we handle the things socially? What kind of network do you have? What kind of network do you live in? And how do you handle difficult situations? You'll be given many difficult, situational problems during the interview, and the way you respond to it reveals the real part of your personality. Now, if we talk about the personal development skills, what skills they want to identify? Are you confident? Are you aware of what is happening around? Do you have good negotiation skills? Negotiation is an important part of your personality. Do you have that energy and enthusiasm? Do you have that initiative, adaptability to the situation? Because things are changing. The only thing constant in this universe is change. And you have to adapt. You have to keep changing. You have to be technological conversing, as well as you have to be, very adaptive to changes. You have to be open-minded. You have to be motivated. You have to have great networking skills. And all these things are judged through your extracurricular activities. How do you present yourself in the clubs, sports, event management, the various cultural programs and events? All these factors lead to overall grooming of your personality in your campus life. And unfortunately, we have been missing this for last, say, around 1.5 years. I really feel bad for you people, but with the God grace, we hope and wish that everything will be all right, and we'll meet in the campus as soon as possible. Right, sir?
Yeah.
So
obviously.
To start with, we'll go to the basics of communication. We all know what is communication. The day we were born on this Mother Earth, we all know what this communication. We started communicating the day we were born. But what is this communication? This communication is an exchanging of information between individuals. To keep it very simple and short, how do we exchange this information? We use some symbols, some signs, some behavior. Symbols in the form of language. We all are conversant with 1 or 2 or 3 languages, especially our mother tongue. We encode our, what we want to send. Like I'll share a process of communication with you. Here comes a proper model right from the, heart of a mechanical engineer. I have a message to send to you. I'm speaking to you. How will I send that message to you? I'll encode that message in the form of some words, some symbols, and that has to be common between me and the receiver. And that will be sent to you through some medium. You as a receiver will decode it because we have something in common. What is common between us? The language. We all are conversing in Hindi, English, or whatever language we are. Then you'll be giving me the feedback. The most important part of this communication cycle is the feedback. Has the message reached you at the right time and in the right tone? And have you understood the crux of that message? This is the effective communication cycle, which we'll be studying and discussing in detail. The most incredible part of the communication cycle, which we generally miss, is listening. Generally, what happens is people think that people who are good presenters, people who are good public speaking skills, they are good communicators. But here we are wrong, my dear friends. Good communication skills mean being good listeners. We don't have to be pretending listeners. We have to be attentive listeners. If we develop this art of listening, nobody in the world can stop us from being a good communicator. And same happens in a day-to-day life, in a professional life. And when, to be specific to this topic, when we'll go to face an interview, we have to carefully listen to the questions being put forward by the interviewer and the cross questions. At times, what happens out of nervousness, we just miss the, we just try to be proactive, and we don't listen to the question, and we say what is at the back of our mind. No, be proactive, have a proper eye contact. I'll be coming to body language, but listening is the most important part of a communication cycle. It is more significant than speaking. Listen, 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 and then respond. Don't react, just respond. Be responsive. To the next slide. I've shared here some graph with you. And like when we are into face-to-face communication, you'll be surprised to know that the words, they matter only 7%. The impact of tone is 36%, and the impact of our body language is 57%. So what do we gather from this part of this graph is like, what matters in the cycle of communication is not our words. The impact is of our body language. How do we present ourselves? How do we use the gestures and various other parts of body language that I'll be discussing with you in the upcoming slides? Your tone matters a lot. Words only 7%. Yes, we have to be very good with our words. The proper use of words has to be there, but the impact is only 7%. And when it comes to a verbal communication, suppose you are into a telephonic conversation or an interview where you're not visible to the interviewer, though it is an era where if you are on a virtual mode, also you're visible to the interviewer through a video conference like we are here right now. But still, if we are into a conversation where our the visual part is missing, the impact of the words is still only 14%, and the impact of the tone is 86%. So we have to be careful here. We need to flag it that tone and body language have a lasting effect in the communication cycle. I'll be touching upon the non-verbal part of communication, the body language, because as I've already discussed with you, non-verbal communication can go without verbal communication. At times, we see many messages are conveyed through sign language and all that. But if we are into verbal communication, it can never go without non-verbal communication. So we have to concentrate on using the right body language, right gestures at the right time, right gestures in the right situation. Fine. Should I move ahead? Important parts of, please point me out if I'm running fast, because I have so many things to discuss and the time is limited. I'll try to give my best. And if something is left, we'll continue it in the sequel, right? In the non-verbal communication part of it, eye contact, very important. Facial expression, as important. Our gestures, our posture and stance, and the space relationship. How distant, what kind of spatial distance we have to maintain in which kind of relationship. Some examples of facial expression are shown to you in the slide, and you'll be surprised to know that as our face has 43 muscles, if I asked you to make a combination of these 43 muscles and how many facial expressions can we generate out of these, a general answer which I have seen in my experience till date is people say 100, 50, 150, 200, 300, 400, but the real figure is around 10,000. We can make around 10,000 expressions with our facial, using our facial muscles. But the generally accepted facial expressions are like we can see at number 1, we can see at number 7, we can like from in these facial expressions, I see 1 in 7 or the neutral one at the top of it are generally accepted facial expressions. And we have to be very careful while using our facial expressions, because face and eyes can speak a lot about our soul. It can express our happiness, sadness, nervousness, displeasure, anger, fear, and surprise. So we need to work upon it. We need to really, to be market ready, we need to look upon our gray areas, and we have to, as I told you earlier also, sweat in peace. We have to work hard on our body language, our gestures. Then only the content will be properly conveyed to the person on the other side of the table. As I told you earlier also, eyes are the mirror of the soul, and eyes can be very tricky. And I'm showing you through these various expressions, like if you have a psychologist sitting on the other side of the table and assessing your body language, when you are questioned, the content matters, but it only matters 7%. But they're judging you through these gestures, that what kind of eye expression, what kind of facial expressions are you giving, and are you portraying the real picture of you, or are you giving a false picture? Are you fudging the facts? So if you are remembering things, if he is asking something about the past, naturally your eyes will show some expressions, and they'll be able to judge, yes, the person is speaking truth and not fudging fact. So you have to be very true and very, the person on the other side of the table, you have to accept that he's smarter than us. Acceptance is the only solution that we have, and we need to work out on our facial expressions. They judge you from these point of views. See the various expressions, and you can work out upon them. You can start thinking and look in front of the mirror, and you will be able to see when you are remembering something. You'll have this kind of, your eyeballs will move in this direction. When you are constructing some images, when you're doing some creative work, your eyeballs will be like this. When you're visualizing something, your eyeballs will be like this. This is what it is. Some common gestures I'm discussing with you. If you keep your arms folded across your chest, this shows a very unsympathetic behavior. Please don't do it. Arms held loose show positive attitude, and palms facing the ceiling. Your posture has to be very upright, and this shows your right attitude, the confidence you have. Don't bow your head. Always make a proper eye contact, but don't start staring at the person on the other side, because it gives a negative feeling, and it shows some kind of aggression, and at times a person can take it on the other side also, that you're trying to, fear him. You're trying to show him your anger. Bowing head, leaning, showing friendliness. These are not very good good gestures. We have to maintain a proper distance, be upright, maintain a proper eye contact. Don't lean forward, don't slouch. Be moderate. Be moderate. You should look like warm. Don't be smiling. Like, it shouldn't look that you are overly smiling and you are showing some artificial body language. Take it easy, and you need to work out upon this. Take the help of a mirror, take the help of your friends. I'll be discussing this in the upcoming slides, that how we need to work about all these things. Straight body language, as we discussed. Take notes. Place your feet comfortably and flat on the floor. Don't shake your legs, because again, shaking of legs is a sign of nervousness. Don't move your finger around your face or on your chin, which will show your discomfort, your nervousness. Survey the audience, spot potential problems, look relaxed, smile when appropriate. You should have a gentle smile on your face. Look at these two pictures. Look at the lady on the left part of it. Look at her body language. She's making a gentle eye contact, a confident, gentle smile. the chin is upright, the shoulders are open, palms are open, her arms are rightly placed. And look at the lady, the same lady on the right side of the picture. Her head is down, she's shrinking, shoulders are shrugged, fists are clenched. Clenched fist always give a sign of nervousness. Never do that. Keep your arms, palms open. You're judged on these abilities. This should be a natural behavior. Try to work upon it. You are judged on these things. Now I come to impression management, which depends 60%. It depends on your appearance, how you present yourself. As I told you earlier also, you are market ready. In an interview, you're selling yourself. You're selling your abilities, your capabilities. So you need to goal plate yourself, to be very honest. A part of it depends on the way you speak. A part of it depends upon what you speak, the content part of it. But as you see, as we have discussed earlier also, this part of what you say, yes, it is not insignificant, it matters. But the ratio, the percentage is very less. Your appearance, your body language, your presence, your tone, it matters. It matters a lot. Now let's come on to the core part of it, preparing for an interview. We are ready. Are we ready to go ahead? The 5 P's of a successful interview. Be polite, be punctual, on time, because if you are running out of time, you're late, everything is gone in vain. Stress will be there. You'll be, confused. You won't be able to give right answers at the right time. You won't be able to listen to properly, and make these 5 P's a habit. Develop this, inculcate these 5 P's, imbibe them into your personality, so that you need not to, portray yourself to be like that. Make it a part of your culture. How to prepare for a campus interview? First, prepare your CV. Each word should be used very gently, and you should be able to justify each word in your CV. And you can take professional help while preparing your CVs. These days, many websites, many softwares are available which really help you to prepare a proper CV or a resume. What is the difference between a CV, curriculum vitae, and a resume is that resume is just a summary of it. It is a single page thing. And CV is kind of a biodata. It gives every detail about your professional abilities, your trainings, your publications, your hobbies, your interests, your family. Generally, carry a CV with you, but if desired by the employer or the interviewer, keep a copy of resume with you. Keep a summary part of it with you. We'll be discussing some frequently asked questions in an interview. Your favorite subjects, you should always be ready with 3 or 4 favorite subjects. General question in the interview, he won't be asking you around, say you have studied 40 courses in your engineering. He won't be questioning you on all those 40, and it's your luck if some questions fall like on your bad subject if you have a bad day. But generally we should be prepared with the favorite subject, 2, 3, 4 subjects, and we all have some of the subjects are our favorite, where we want to make our career, where we want to go for further education, higher education. Research on the background of the company. For that, go thoroughly to the website of the company, read about the company as much as you can, and you can make your mindset also whether you fit in. Are you fit in for the kind of job profile that they are looking for, or you are not? Whether your interest, your talent, it matches with the background of the company or not, and it helps you while facing the interview also. As I discussed, aptitude test, you have to be prepared with, like, you must have taken up some notes. You might be solving some problems of R.S. Agrawal and all that. In our times, Shakuntala Devi problem book used to be very popular amongst the students, and Infosys aptitude test was, the questions used to be, shooted from Shakuntala Devi mathematics problem, these puzzles. And you should develop a hobby of, like, we all are engineers, we all have very good aptitude. But as I discussed earlier also, the X always needs to be sharpened. It shouldn't go blunt. So we should keep solving puzzles, and as we keep solving puzzles, our aptitude are, it goes on, we are in touch with the things. And we should form some study groups where we can, do some group discussions, take some mock aptitude tests, and we can take some mock interviews also, so that we can work out on our body language. We should point out on each other, like on the faults, on the good part of it, on the where we need to work out, what are our gray areas, so that we don't come out of the interview room scratching our head. We should be, when we come out of the interview room, it should be my way or highway. So step one in the self-interview process is prepare your resume or CV thoroughly, get it checked by somebody, take a professional help, take an help on online, or your professors are very competent. You should know about your strengths and weaknesses. A very general question in the interviews is your SWOT analysis. And as you all know, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, but S and W part of it, you have to be thorough about it, because always an interviewer wants to know whether do you know yourself? Are you aware of yourself? And if you are aware of yourself, you should know about your strengths and your weaknesses. Determine your interests, what interests you, your hobbies. You need to, be very, very exclusively, you have to tell the interviewer, the general question is, tell me something about your hobbies, and you have to do whatever your hobbies are, you need to do an extensive research on your hobbies, and you need to really show that, yes, these are my hobbies and I spend time on my hobbies, so that he also comes to know that you'll be able to maintain a work-life balance, which will increase your efficiency in your workplace. Your values, your ethics, your culture, they matter a lot. Will you be an effective contributor to the organization? You need to cite examples of your achievements, accomplishments till date, your publications, whatever you have done in the extracurricular activities, your achievements in sports or other arenas of your life. Here I've put up some questions regarding the SWOT analysis. While preparing the SWOT analysis, you should try to answer these questions and prepare this format for yourself, and be ready. Like the interview should shoot a question and you should be ready with the answers. I'll give you a half a minute to just go through this SWOT slide. For scaling these new heights, we need to meticulously plan and flawlessly execute the interview. It has to be created by you. You have to be the curator of your interview, because the proof of pudding always lies in it eating. It is not like that you'll be one fine day, you'll be getting up and going and sitting in the interview. You need to work out upon it. You need to put in some hard work. You need to be composed for that. You need to be confident. You need to be energetic. You need to be affirmative. Should I move ahead? You need to show to the interview, yes, the hero is encoded within me. I'm the hero. I'm the person that you are looking forward to. And never take a pressure like that. They have come to the campus, or if it is an off-campus interview, there are only 3 vacancies or 2 vacancies. You only need 1 vacancy. You need to be confident. I need 1 vacancy, and this is made for me. I'll be touching upon some, as I told you, your presence matters 60% in the interviewing process, and whatever data I'm sharing is based on some analysis and statistics, based on some certain psychological studies. I forgot to mention the sources. Next time I'll take care of that also. Grooming essentials while facing an interview. General things we all are aware of, but still we need to take care of each and every aspect in our grooming also. What kind of jacket are we going to wear? What is the latest trend in the market? We shouldn't look very trendy or fashionable. We need to look decent professionals while facing an interview. What kind of shoes we should be wearing? What should be our dressing sense? What kind of shirts, ties? all this. You should look a formal gentleman, a thorough professional while grooming and facing for an interview. These some general tips. I'll be sharing this presentation with Amit Kaul sir. You can always, he'll be sharing with you students, and you can always go through it, all the details, you can work out upon it. But grooming part, presenting yourself is again a very important part of facing an interview. These were for the gentlemen, these are for the gracious ladies. Yes, these are some breathtaking insights while facing an interview. And we don't have to ignore any aspect. We have to take care of every single part in an interview, in a group discussion, or wherever in life. As I told you earlier also, interview is just a meeting. So this is just a general meeting. And when we go for a formal meeting, we have to take care of our grooming. I'll be discussing some frequently asked questions in an interview, which keep on changing depending on the organization, situation, and what kind of person are they looking forward to. But some general questions, like it starts from you knowing yourself, your SWOT analysis. You should know each and every detail that you have written in your interview, and you should be in your CV, sorry. And you should be able to justify every single word that you have. It is not like that you have picked up something from the internet and you are just doing copy paste and you're not able to justify it, and that doesn't fit into your personality. You have to match that. It has to look like you have worked upon yourself. If you have not scored good grades, you should be able to give a good reason, a justification why it was not, and you should accept your fault. Like maybe you were busy with some extracurricular activities, or pandemic had an effect on your interview. Your favorite subjects, as I discussed earlier, your project, your summer training, it matters a lot in your interview. Your achievement till date, your weaknesses, be ready with it. We all humans are born with some weaknesses, and we should know and realize, and we should be able to tell our weaknesses to the interview with the writer that yes, this is my weakness, but over a period of time, I'm trying to work upon my weakness so that in times to come, I convert this weakness into a strength. What are your career goals? Where do you see, very important question, where do you see yourself 5 years or 10 years down the line? You need to visualize that. You need to have that plan, that vision for yourself. As I told you, opening questions are like that, like this: your education, your skills, your technical skills, your analytical skills, your experience. Though as freshers, we don't have any experience, but we should always be knowing what we have learned in a summer training. What project have we done? A thesis, our project, whatever you are doing, the career objective. Yes, the defining at times in the resume, generally it happens at the top of our resume, we write the career objective. We try to, put in some glorified, some sugar-coated words in that resume to make it look more attractive. No problem, you do that, but you should be able to justify each and every word in that resume. The questions are based on competence-based questions, will be like on your communication skills. Generally, you are judged on your communication skills as a part of your interview only, but they are looking forward for a good team worker, part of a person who can be a good part of the team, and in the years down the line, a team leader. How are your interpersonal skills? How you deal with people, your colleagues? How you'll be able to deal with your subordinates, your superiors, your colleagues? Your time management skills. Never run out of time. Be punctual. How do you manage your time? And will you be able to do multitasking and all that stuff? Your problem solving skills. Maybe you will be given some situational problems, some mathematical problems. You need to work out upon that. your initiation. As I told you earlier also, you might be given some adverse situation. How will you be able to come out of it? Will you take an initiative? Are you a leader? You have that leader in you. They'll be judging you upon that. What interviewers expect from freshers? Confidence. When they ask you a very simple question, tell me something about yourself. Confident, the beginning is the end of the story. It will carry a lasting impression on the interviewer. Your confidence, how do you tell about yourself? What do you know about yourself? It will have the impact on the entire process of the interview. So when you face the interview, when you start with the opening line, tell me something about yourself. So all the weapons that you have prepared, you have sharpened over a period of time should be already in your arsenal. Your teamwork, creativity, extracurricular activities, it matters a lot. It matters a lot, believe me. What have you learned? Maybe you will be given a practical activity, a group activity, then you'll be asked to describe the learnings, the synergy between the activity and the profession you have chosen. These are some parts of it, like you'll be like, if you talk about some extracurricular activity, you should be able to describe it in a very elaborate manner. Your personality and your character matters a lot. What are you as a person? Your S and W, as we have discussed. What are you going to, how are you going to get rid of your weaknesses? How do you visualize your success? How you look forward for your career down the line? What are your priorities in life? Crisis situation, as I have been talking about this time and again, your adversity quotient. Maybe you will have to take some tests, some psychometric tests, which from where you'll be judged upon your emotional quotient. You'll be evaluated on your social quotient, and you will be, these days you are evaluated on your adversity quotient also. So need to work out upon this. What is the dream of your life? What is the goal of your life? This is a general format on the basis of your interview. The assessment sheet, which is there with the interviewer, it varies from organization to organization. In general, I've shared this template with you. And it is not, believe me, it is not like the process of interview is not like a round of gupshup. It is done in a very professional manner. They have a proper assessment sheet. They assess you on a scale of something, and a proper marking scheme is there. They assess you on the various characteristics, abilities, skills, etc., 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 that we have been discussing. At the interview, the virtual situation is we are in the interview. We're facing the interview. These are some steps from entry to exit. Step A is a proper entry, confident entry. Don't peep into the door when somebody else is being interviewed and you are next in the turn. If somebody is observing you, always keep this in your mind. There is some camera everywhere. There's a CCTV camera everywhere which is following you. Somebody is observing you. A firm handshake, and a handshake has to be done if the interviewer initiates a handshake. You don't have to take that initiative. And if he does, do a confident handshake. Handshake reveals so much about your personality. If you are nervous, you'll have, butterflies in your stomach, you'll be sweating. Don't make it a point before the interview. Just properly wipe your hands, make them dry with your handkerchief. You should always have an handkerchief in your pocket. If he offers you a handshake, he'll be judging so many things from that handshake. Be careful, be watchful, be alert. Don't be very friendly. It is a professional environment. Proper sitting, as we have discussed, right posture, eye contact, and sit only when asked to. Take a permission. May I sit? Maybe They offer you a seat. Unless and until you have been asked to sit, please don't sit. Eye contact all through the process, the interview. If there are more than one interviewers, you have to make eye contact with everybody, intermittently. Eye contact with 1, 2, when you're answering, look into the eyes of the other persons. That reveals the confidence in you, that develops and establishes and completes the cycle of communication. But don't stare at anybody, please. Mark my words, don't stare. Don't stare. Just have a gentle eye contact with a gentle smile on your face. After every question, give a gentle smile on your face. This shows the kind of confidence that you have while answering to the queries. Sit upright, as we have been discussing. Body language has to be right. Your words, your content will matter a lot. But above all, your body language, your tone will matter a lot. Show positive emotions, smile, nod. When you agree with the interviewer, nod, give a nod of your head. If you disagree, you can again, shake your head, but don't show very negative emotions in an interview. No negative body movements, as I told you earlier also. Be focused. Don't shake your head. Don't keep shaking your head also. Don't keep your fingers, don't fiddle with any pen you have in your hand or any papers you have in your hand. Straight upright. If you have any, your file with you, which carries your certificates, keep it on the table, keep it on the side, keep it on your lap. If space doesn't permit, at times they keep you in a stress interview also. You might be offered a chair which will be 10 feet apart, and there won't be any table or something. Keep it on your lap. Be easy, be situational. They want to see how do you respond to the different kind of situations. No negative body movements. We have discussed this at length. No clenched teeth, no shrugged shoulders. Be open, have a gentle posture. Posture matters a lot, and make it a habit to sit with we have been told right from day one when we entered school, sit straight, sit straight, sit straight. And this sitting, this posture reveals are the signs of a confident person. Proper exit. Don't think once the interview is over and you just show your back to the interviewer and you go out and do yay, and you start, punching the air and all that stuff. No, you are being observed. There is a camera everywhere. So, and at the exit, if they permit you or they say any questions, do ask a question to them. I've put up some questions to you. Like, these are some sample questions. Like, you can always discuss your career development plans, your performance appraisal system that the organization follows. This shows how interested you are in working with that organization, how professional you are, what are you looking forward to, and you are really have affirmative career goals. If the interviewer says any questions, always make it a point to ask a question. You gain, maybe you might have messed up with your interview, but if you ask one single question at the end of the interview, it will really matter a lot for you. There might be some pressure questions. Deliberately, some pressure situations might be created. Just want to see how your adversity quotient is. How do you handle the things under pressure? Because in this VUCA world that we are facing today, it is, so much vulnerable. You're vulnerable to so much adversities day in and day out. And in the work situation also, you'll be facing so many things. And they just want to see, do you fit into those pressure situations or not? Be natural, prepare yourself, work hard on it. Pressure questions can be, some general questions can be like, tell me about your failures. Tell, don't be frank. Be frank discussing about your failures. What was the biggest failure of life? Be prepared for such questions. What was the greatest adventure of your life? What was the greatest pressure situation of your life? Prepare to the extent possible. Interview don'ts, we have already discussed. I would like to repeat them. Be punctual, no outdated resume. It has to be to date, till date, and always carry that resume or CV that you have already submitted with that organization. Don't try to update anything after submission. No negative comments on your institution, your subjects, your college mates, your friends. Be positive in all the questions. Be affirmative. Develop that in regular and routine life also. Develop that positive attitude. Come out with those good positive emotions, the positive part of it. Otherwise, you'll be dragged into that vicious cycle of stress. And negativity always leads to negativity. It will drain all your energy and it will go to the bin. We all are sources of immense energy. We are energy catchers. We need to take energy inside us. And we don't have to drain the energy from us. Don't falsify the things. Don't exhibit frustrations. Don't make excuses. Don't give any lame excuses. The person on the other side of the table is always smarter than you. Always believe that. Always accept that. Do research on yourself. Post-interview also, assessment part of you. This is the self-assessment part of you. Spend some time with yourself, because this is not the only interview that you'll face in your life. Maybe your good luck, and I wish you all the best that you'll be selected in the first interview that you face, but you'll be hopping jobs within your career. So this will not be the only interview you face. So always make an assessment of the interview, what went right and what went wrong. There's some questions which need to be answered. And if you can pen them down, take notes of them, it will be always helpful to you in the career path of your life. Five P's we have already discussed. Now we come to the next part of it. That is the group discussion. It's almost 7. Amit sir, can we continue? Am I audible? Amit sir?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes. I'm saying that you can continue for another 15 to 20 minutes and then we can have a...
Okay, sir, I'll take 15 more minutes.
Fine,
I'll be going through the group discussion part of it. And I hope everything is going right as per your expectations.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I believe the participants are quite happy with it. And then in the last, say, 10 minutes, we'll take up the question.
Right, sir. Right, sir. No worries. Group discussion. I don't know what people think about group discussion, but in a group discussion, in a one-to-one interview, the interviewer is assessing some, individual parameters. In a group discussion, as the name reveals itself, it is the purpose of a group discussion is assessment of your group behavior. How do you behave in a group? How will be you a part of the team? And when you will be working for some organization, you won't be working in isolation. You won't be living in silos. You have to be a part of team. So in the group discussion, you are being assessed. Flag this point for your group behavior. Be cautious for something. Some things have to be taken care of here. Your emotional quotient, your emotional intelligence counts a lot. How do you behave in a good group? How do you respond in a group? How do you listen to others? How do you cross-question? How do you answer to the queries? And this is a modern method of assessing students' personality, as I told you. There can be wide types of group discussions, the various topics you all know, you know better than me, like issue-based, current issue-based, abstract topic. One more method of group discussion is case study method of group discussion. Like when I was in Indian Institute of Management, the basic way of teaching, their teaching is based on case study method of teaching. They are moved ahead from the textbook study, and whatever discussion has to be done, you'll be given a case, will be given some time to go through it, and the leading questions come based upon that case, and the further discussion will be carried on the basis of that case. So just surf on the net. You can always come back to me. I'll be sharing my contact details with you. on case study method. Just prepare yourself on the case study method of discussions also. The parameters on which you are evaluated in a group discussion is number one, knowledge, of course, your personality, your presence, your leadership skills, how do you take the initiative in a group discussion. And it is not always, there is an illusion enter into a group discussion as and when desired. Opportunity, you will get an opportunity. Your communication skills, your interpersonal skills, your group behavior matters a lot. Interpersonal skill means your group behavior, your conceptualization skills, how do you understand the concept, your topic, the problem solving skills. At times, as I told you, you'll be given a case study and you'll be asked to solve a certain problem. How do you give the solution to that problem? Listen to others and always try to add on to the solution of other people. You might agree or disagree with the other person, but don't be aggressive. Don't be aggressive. Be polite. Yes, you said this to a certain extent. I disagree to it. Start with a polite note. Always enter the discussion in a polite note. Don't be aggressive. It is not like that you will be judged or you will be marked more if you show an aggressive behavior. You will be given negative mark. Because this group discussion won't lead you to anywhere. This is just assessment of your group behavior. Always keep this in mind. Yes, how do you pursue others? Your one big example of your leadership skill and your persuasion skill is when somebody in the group is not participating actively. You can always take the initiative and ask that X person, yes, Mr. X, you're not participating. We would love to hear your point of view also. That will, give you guinea points in that group discussion. A strategy, CASH strategy for group discussions, the acronym CASH, where K stands for your knowledge, A stands for attitude, S stands for skills, and H for honesty. If you want to be a JD expert, though nobody can be, but it has to be a proper mix of your knowledge and your smartness. Your content has to be meaningful. Your tone has to be proper. Your body language and gesture has to be highly professional. Try to work out on it. Don't be aggressive. Don't be, like you are in a street fight. It is not like that. You are in a professional environment. Always try to build a consensus. Yes, X is given this view, Y's viewpoint is this, Z's viewpoint of this. Let's summarize and give a consensus to the problem or whatever topic is there for the group discussion. If you try to give a consensus, you have good problem solving skills. You have come to the conclusion. Otherwise, there is no end to it. And try to adhere to the time limit. There is always a given time limit in the group discussion. Be particular on this. Note time on your watch. Keep looking at on your watch. And at times you can take this initiative. Since we are running out of time, let's conclude the topic. Try to build up those, leadership words. Learn those leadership words. Your habits should your personality will be revealed. Yes, he or she is a leader. Is trying to involve everybody in the group. He's taking the initiative. She's taking the initiative. She is, pressurizing everybody to come to a consensus. They are considered good leaders and they are looking for the future leaders of the organization. The sole purpose is this group behavior, the future leaders of the organization, the people who deem fit for the organization. Behavioral traits, do not shout, bear this in your mind. Display an open mind. Come out with open thoughts. Accept the thoughts of a viewpoint of other people. Acceptability. Be aware of your posture and body language. Last but not the least, do's and don'ts. You all are aware of it. We have been discussing this for last 1 hour. Don't be an extremist in a group discussion, because every coin has a silver lining. We should always try to discuss both the pros and cons on any given topic. Both aspects should be taken care of. Like, don't be an extremist. I'm this and I stand by this. It has not to be like that. Otherwise you won't be able to come to a consensus in any discussion. Your clarity of thought, your thinking on the topic, once the topic is given to you, pin down some points, jot down some points. Think about it, be thorough to it. And once you start speaking, you should have that clarity of thought. The person on the other side of the table is judging on you on the clarity of the concept, your concepts, how clear your thoughts are, how much knowledge do you possess. Try to link your knowledge with the topic, try to link the things. And you have to, as I told you earlier, also you're market ready, you're selling yourself. Try to be smart in a group discussion. Don'ts, we all know. We don't have to lose our cool. We don't have to be aggressive. We don't have to use negative body language. Especially don't show finger to anybody. Don't stare at anybody. Don't, stand up from your chair and use negative emotions, gestures. Be watchful, be careful. Try to control your emotions. You're being judged on your emotional intelligence. And it comes first, then your intelligence quotient. Don't take things personally. It is all professional, nothing personal. You all are friends. You all are part of the group. The organization will be working forward in days to come. Is again a social organization. It is a professional organization. Things are very professional there. You don't have to take things personally. Don't get hurt with somebody other's point of view. He or she might or might not agree with your point of view. Don't take things personally. That's his or her point of view. You have to be accepted. You have to develop that acceptance. Yes, she or he thinks like that. Yes, it is his point of view. My point of view is this. You need to have, we have to develop ourselves on the perception point of it. Now we come to the last part of it, the resume writing type. Though in this virtual atmosphere, we do some exercises on resume building. I won't be able to do that as of now, and if the time permits, we'll be doing it in the campus. But I'll be sharing an overview of what has to be done in writing a resume or a CV. The chronology is like this, but it varies from time to time, from organization to organization. This is something which is very dynamic, and this keeps on changing time to time. But your CV or your CV, I'm talking about a CV, a resume is not the right word to use here, should include these things in addition to some more things. These have to be a part of it. References, definitely it should be there. You have to have some references of your faculty or some friends and family members, some professional contacts. Designing your resume is an art. You're selling yourself. You are writing a script for yourself. And while doing so, you need to go back to the drawing board. You need to sit on the canvas and, start designing your resume, and it will take some time. Make a draft, copy 1, copy 2, copy 3, get it vetted by firstly your peers, your friends, some professional, your professors, and take some time, work out upon it. Every single detail has to be taken care of, right from fonts, the proper sizes of the fonts, the keywords that are written in the interview, the alignment, the spacing, everything, every detail. And at the flag it that do not use uppercase letters, other than like if you are writing a heading or something. Uppercase letters in any form of communication, may it be your CV or be it, maybe it is an email or any kind of communication, it is derogatory. Uppercase letter means that you are shouting at somebody. Don't do that. no fancy or unprofessional email address. It has to be very general. These are some basic things which comes into designing a resume. And as I told you earlier also, it is an art. And over a period of time, you must have meticulously planned and worked out on attaining a high level of, proficiency in making a resume or a CV. And if you have not, sleep on it, work out on it, sleep on all these skills, go back to the drawing board, work hard on all things that we have discussed and many things beyond this. Then only you'll be market ready, your X will be sharpened, and work out on your gray areas. Work out on a gray area, spend time with yourself, pen down the things that you need to work upon. Some buzzwords which can be used, I've selected these to use in your resume. These are some attractive words which attract the person who is evaluating your CV. And future questions will be, leading questions will be modeled upon these words. So these words have to be selected very smartly and effectively used at the right place and in the right combination. Right? Do I mean sense? Unfortunately, I'm not able to share the resume samples with you, because in case if I share the resume samples here with you, we need to have a thorough discussion on it. Otherwise, it would be misleading for you. If time permits, next time in the sequel of it, in the campus, we'll be discussing them in detail. Thank you so much. You all were good participants, all mute participants, silent participants. It was a one-way communication. But I hope this presentation must have been helpful for you, and I tried my level best. And sir, I hope I'm well in time. The time allotted to me was, say, around 1.5 hours.
As
and
always,
time management is,
as always, an expert on time management has adhered to all the time guidelines or the timelines which we had set prior to the interview. But now the session is open for everybody for the questions which they can ask the expert.
sir, I would like to say one thing. I'm not an expert. I'm just a part of you, and I'm just your college senior. We should be very frankly discussing all these things. And whatever question you have, maybe I'm not able to respond to your query right now. I'll share my email ID with you. You can put up your query on my email, and I'll respond to the email in a day or two. I have some questions. I think, can we add degree or course other than required for the job in resume? Yes. Like if you have any value addition in your skills, in your capabilities other than your professional skills, you should always come out with it. It always adds. It always adds, Mr. Akhileshwar Singh. Yes, definitely you should do that. You should do that, but you should not be fudging the data or details that you are giving to some organization.
You can
if you have something, go ahead with it.
Saurabh, you can turn on your video now if possible.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sorry. Sir, I don't find any more queries in it. It is just a thank you message from many of the participants, and I'm honored to be a part of this discussion today.
We'll want a few more participants in case they are there who want some of their queries to be answered by you. So if possible, they can ask, and we'll wait for 1 or 2 more minutes. It was a
sir. I have posted my email ID on the chat box.
Okay.
All the participants and those who have not been able to make up to this discussion today, you're always most welcome to put up any query to me at any time, and I'll respond accordingly. within a day or two. I don't assure you that I'll be responding on the same day, but you'll definitely receive a revert email from me.
It has been very kind of you. So may I?
Can I add my small internship in my resume? That is society interview. Yes, definitely you can. You can. Why not? Why not? You can always do that. So it's up to you, sir. It's all yours now.
No, it has been very kind of you
And I thank you.
giving so time. May I request Chitresh, one of our student coordinators, to give a formal vote of thanks to you, and then we'll try to close the session for the day. And as per
somebody has posted a query on how to improve my English speaking and writing skills. The name of the participant is Monica Bishnoi. Monica, you draft an email and send an email to me, and I'll respond.
Okay, so may I request Chitresh to deliver a vote of thanks? Best field, and there are so many questions coming, so we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Best field to study about in present era.
I think your professors will give a better answer to you on this. This is not my forte. I can answer on soft skills as on date, or you can ask me on power sector. I'll be a better person to answer on that.
So let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes, because as soon as I'm asking Chitresh to deliver the formal vote of thanks, there are questions coming. So let me wait for 1 minute or so that the participants later on don't complain that I didn't give the expert to reply to genuine questions and it was just a one-way interaction.
So before the formal vote of thanks, special thanks, a gratitude from myself to the institute, to the faculty, to giving me this opportunity. I always love to connect to the institute, my alma mater, and whatever we are doing, as I discussed with you earlier also, is because we owe gratitude to this institute, which is our temple of knowledge. And thank you so much to NIT Hamirpur. Long live NIT Hamirpur.
It's a great thing that you are so closely associated, and the amount of contribution you are still making towards connecting various people in the alumni network. I don't have words to explain the amount of contribution which you have made in last, say, somewhere around 6 to 7 years, and your contribution is well etched in the memories of all concerned over here. At least the alma maters, your fellow alumni, go on to always recognize the efforts made by you.
Sir, on it. Gratitude.
So there are 2 more questions. With those questions, we'll end the session. One is a question by, if you can read it on your end.
Yeah, I'm reading it, sir. Mr. Dushyant has posted for PSU. I'll be a good person to take up this query since I'm working with the PSU. For PSU with electrical engineering branch, is there any need for computer language? Look, Dushyant, the entry mode for PSUs now is GATE. GATE is the entry to PSUs also, as it was being followed by all the PSUs. Now it has been made mandatory for all the PSUs. So most of the PSUs, like mine PSU, we are not taking any written test now, and there is a cutoff score for your GATE score, which holds for say 3 years or so, and on the basis of the merit that is built on that GATE score, you are called for an interview. And knowing a particular computer language is not a requirement, a basic requirement, your eligibility requirement for entering a PSU. Your degree in that particular field for which the vacancy has been called for, that matters. Any additional skills are most welcome.
there are a couple of more, I believe. So the one is a question on any internship available for application of ML and AI in ME, that is machine learning and artificial intelligence.
You please post this query to me on email. I'll connect to my network and get back to you. So some people like to join software and IT-based company, but we have core branch. So my question is, in interview time, companies ask questions about, yes, definitely. If you are facing an interview of a IT or software-based company also, don't leave your core branch. Be prepared for some subjects on your core branch also. They'll definitely grill you on that. And what have you learned over the period of over the years? Don't think that it is gone now.
So
programming languages is the need of the hour. Everything right from mechanical engineering and all the core branches, at the end of the day, if you get into the programming part of it and you are, you are into technology part of it, programming languages will matter and it adds to your skills and your abilities. It will always add value to your CV and your further progression in your career.
Oh, I think now we can request Chitresh to come with the formal vote of thanks, because now.
Any more queries on my email? You're most welcome anytime, please.
So Chitresh, are you there with me and you can deliver a vote of thanks for us? I think I have muted all of them, so I'll need to unmute him because he might be saying that you've unmuted all and then I'm no longer in a position to speak anything. So let me just take 1 minute. Okay. So.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, Chitresh, you are audible.
Yes, sir. So thank you, sir, for these enlightful words, and thank you for taking the time to share your knowledge with us. And I'm sure that everyone who attended the lecture today are grateful for the knowledge you shared with us. And so on the behalf of Office of Dean and Alumni Affairs and Resource Generation, I would like to thank you and express my gratitude for accepting our invitation and taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us. Thank you, sir. It was an honor to have you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
With that, we'll try to close the session. It's so nice of you to have you with us. Again, we are filled with gratitude and we express it towards you for being with us. Thank you again.
I'm honored to be a part of it. Thanks to the Institute and best wishes to all the students. Keep me updated on your career developments and you are most welcome with your queries on my email. All the best. Thank you so much, sir. Wish you a very good night, everybody. And my respected wishes to all the faculty members. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.